you open yourself to acceptance. The results that can be so infectious. Catapult and you see the projection. You just gotta know.
Okie dokie, hello YouTube. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but it's going to be about 3 still meditation positions. So we're going to go over laying down, seated, and then standing positions. Okay, the difference between them, why you should do it, and what they're good for. So I'm going to start with the laying down one, because this is, you could say, the most simple one, because obviously it's a more comfortable position for the majority of people. People are comfortable laying down because it's how they sleep. If you're not comfortable laying on your back, it might be a bit hard for you. But this is where it's good for you as well. Because when you're laying flat on your back, it's a bit easier than sitting and keeping your back upright, because gravity isn't kind of pushing it down. So you can lay down and stay flat, and when you're breathing in prana during seated meditation, you'll notice some wobbles. This is just cleansing. But when you're laying down, there isn't really any space for movement, so you can be still as possible. The problem with laying down, it's not really a problem, is you're more likely to sleep. It can promote astral projection, so if that's something that you don't want to do yet, then maybe laying down meditation isn't that great for you. I would recommend trying it anyway. You'll notice if you feel like, when you feel like you're about to astral project, it's more like you feel like you're leaving your body, like you want to just bust out. But anyway, you'll start to freak out if you freak out. Along my early journey, I freaked out the first time I tried to do it, and for some reason my body just doesn't want me to astral project at the moment. I don't know why. I stayed there for like an hour the other night, and I just didn't move. Anyway, laying down. Dog's on the bed. But yeah, quick tip. Don't put your head on the north, facing the north. Learned this from Sadhguru, actually. If you didn't know, the Himalayas, India is actually decreasing in size. Excuse me, this is going to be like a minute. Himalayas is decreasing in size by 1.3 centimeters. No, India is decreasing in size by 1.3 centimeters, and the Himalayas are increasing in size. This is because of the magnetic pull from the north. So if you're sleeping with your head to the north on a daily basis, and you've got iron in your blood, iron's metal, it's pulling it slightly every day. Every day you sleep with your head to the north. So if you sleep with your head to the north, put it to the south. Okay? Anyway, back to laying down. So laying down is essentially more comfortable for most people, but this is another issue. You don't want to get too comfortable with laying down, because you want to get your body to be comfortable standing. Okay? Standing fully. Alright? This is a better position to be in. It makes your body stronger, and when you're laying down, your body is going to be weaker because you're not on your legs. You don't activate your glutes, your core muscles, or any of that. Okay? I'm just closing my door because my sister was listening in. Anyway, alright, that is lying down position. Again, there's 3 different positions. I'm not going to go over movement meditation, because depending on your astrological programming or your birth chart, how much different types of energy you got, you might need to do different activities to meditate. For example, if you're high fire in your chart, dancing could be your meditation, or something like a physical activity that gets you moving a lot. If you've got water in your chart, things like art, writing, Tai Chi would be good for you. Air, I have no idea. Air confuses me. I think air can kind of get away with all 3, like the still, the movement, and the kind of flow. But air confuses me. I can't put anything together that's different than the others for air. Because for earth signs, it's more about being still. For earth energy, sorry. Fire is like high impact, fast movement. Water is like slow movement. Air is just like a combination of both. But yeah. If you want to know what meditation would fit you, that's a little example there. So if you like to dance and it gets you in a flow state, you found your meditation. Okay? Alright, anyway, seated meditation. What is seated meditation good for? Seated meditation is good for getting into different states of consciousness, I find. And I actually find it's easier to raise the Kundalini seated than it is laying down. Not sure why. I just find keeping the spine aligned is slightly easier sitting up, because when you're laying down, depending on your bed, you might like concave in a little bit, for example, and your shoulders are going to be slightly forward and not retracted. So your spine is not going to be properly aligned when you're laying down. Depends on your bed as well. It depends how you're laying down. If you lay down and then retract your spine and then stay there, but that might be uncomfortable for some people. Anyway, seated meditation. You do not have to do this seated like the image on the thumbnail that I've showed. You can do it sitting on a chair like I'm sitting on now. You can actually do it in a lotus position sitting on a chair. It's a little bit weird doing a lotus position on a high position. I used to do that before when I was in Leeds. I would sit on my chair in the lotus position. If anyone's meditated on like water, like on like a floating thing on water, let me know. I want to experience that. Yeah, seated meditation. This is good for keeping your spine aligned. Now not the whole purpose, what you need to keep is a spinal alignment, okay, during meditation. You want your head, I'm going to try, come back here, you want your head in line with your spine, okay? So not like forward, not like leaning like here, you want it in line with your spine. Seated meditation is can be a bit painful for people with tight hips. This is where you can start doing swapping between laying down and standing. If you've got tight hips, some seated positions aren't going to be comfortable for you. I used to have tight hips and I used to not be able to kind of do the lotus position properly. But if you've got tight hips, work on your glutes, strengthen your glutes out. That will untighten your hips and stretch out your quads a bit as well. Alright, so that's seated. There are different types of seated positions, different mudras you can do while seated. Quick one, different fingers. Think of these like energy circuits. So small energy, bit more energy. Oh no, middle finger, a lot of energy, middle finger. A bit more energy, not much energy, for example. This one's for your heart. I'm not sure with the others. I'm just going to quickly go through a couple of these. It's for your heart. Lungs maybe. I think I might be wrong. I'll probably put it if I'm wrong on the video. But yeah, there's a few different things you can do. You might have seen a picture on my Instagram or Facebook or my YouTube thumbnail with that one there. That's for your pineal gland. You can do that there as well. There's a bunch of different mudras and mantras you can use. I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm just going to quickly put it in there though. Alright, lastly, standing. Standing is a very grounding form of meditation. Very grounding form of meditation. Because essentially you do want to do this outside, barefoot as well, because it's going to be a combination of grounding and meditation. Now you need to ground properly to get your Kundalini up, because you need to kind of get your energy to your root chakra. Grounding's, what's the word for it? Grounding benefits the root chakra. That's not the word for it. I'm still thinking of the word. But grounding helps your root chakra out. It gives the energy to your root chakra. So when you're doing standing meditation, outside and grounding, now, there are different feet positions you can use as well. The closer you go together, the more you're going to wobble and cleanse yourself. Okay? You can widen your feet. It depends on you and where you're at. If you're like new, I would go a bit wider apart, because you're going to be cleansing a lot. Okay, you're going to be cleansing a lot if you're like close together. Standing meditation, you can also use yourself as a pendulum as well. Okay, I'm not going to explain to you how to use it, because there's like a process you've got to go. It's like you got to say you release stuff. I'm not in a position to teach you how to do that, so I'm not going to do that. But you can use your body as a pendulum in a standing meditative position. If you want to know how to, check it out on Google. I'm not in a position to teach you how to do it, so I'm not going to. But yeah, standing meditation. This is very good for your spine as well, very good for your whole body, because again, think of your whole body as standing up, trying to be aligned. It's a bit different when you're sitting down because it's about spinal alignment, but when you're standing, it's about whole body being aligned. Okay. Overall, personally, I would think standing meditation is better overall, but it does seem not harder because they're not really hard to do. It's just you got a bit more energy into it, essentially, obviously, because when you're standing, sitting down is a bit easier than standing, and laying down is a bit easier than sitting down, right? But again, you don't want to do these because they're easy. You want to practice the easiest one first, maybe. If you're feeling comfortable with how it's making you feel, then transition to the ones that make you feel uncomfortable, because you want to fight the uncomfortableness. That's the goal. You're not going to remove any uncomfortableness out of yourself or your mind. You need to just understand it as there and not let it affect you, okay? So for example, if you get uncomfortable back during seated meditation, what I like to do if I get an uncomfortable back during seated meditation is when I'm breathing in and holding it, I focus on putting that prana to the place that's hurting or kind of in pain, so to say. Even though it's not really pain, it's more like your mind, your body's not used to that position, so it's just adjusting to it, okay? This is what working out, the premises of working out is. You're putting your body back into place, okay? For example, if I needed to work on my back, I would be putting my rhomboids, squeezing my rhomboids together, putting my upper thoracic spine back into place. So that is the premises of the different types of meditative positions, is aligning your body properly, okay? Again, if you got to the end of this video, don't do laying down if laying down is incredibly comfortable for you. You don't want to stay in a comfy state, okay? Life isn't about being comfortable all the time. I mean, we want to get there essentially, but you need to be enlightened to really be comfortable. I'm not enlightened. Yeah. I don't know why my mind went blank there, but it did. Anyway, yeah, the premise is to not get too comfy where you are. Push yourself. If seated is what you've been doing for a long time, try standing. If you never tried standing before. If laying down is what you've been doing for a long time, try seated. Switch it up a bit. Spice things up. They will lead to the same thing. Okay? Source. Or remembering your source. Okay? But yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if it's helped. And if you enjoyed or if it found it informative, drop a comment down below as well. But yeah,